with my streaming software. Man, it's been so long since I've done an indie game interview. I'm gonna have to like redo my setup. I had like I like right now in StreamYard we have kind of a 2D looking vibe. But for anyone watching on like YouTube or Twitch or any of the other streaming social media platforms, it's a completely, we have an animated background. We have the video game getting ready to play. Speaking of that, let me drop the link to Steam. Is that the best link you want me to share today?
Yeah.
For the wish list?
I think, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I think that the Steam link is perfect.
Okay. Let me get ready to pull that up, and we'll be dropping that in chat to help promote it. You guys have an estimated release date yet, or is it still a work in progress?
So there's a story about release dates because when we started, we had a plan we had a release date planned that we couldn't meet because we had difficulty finding support for the game. So we then had to move that date to another time, and things weren't good for that date as well. So we don't have a date right now because the next time that we share a date, we want for it to be the good one.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We are not revealing the date until we are pretty sure that we can make it. So please a little bit more patient.
No worries at all. So I am good to go as long as you are.
Perfect. I'm ready.
All right, let me we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get the video game footage I captured. Guys, anyone who is watching, this video game footage was captured live today, literally just 20 minutes before the show. I wanted to get as close to the interview as humanly possible. So everything you're watching was recorded today. And keep in mind, the game is currently still in development, as well as, you see that on the screen. So mechanics, visuals, and or storyline may differ from the final product. You guys can check out the demo yourselves for free by hitting up the wish list on Steam. That link was just dropped in chat. I'm good to go. You're good to go?
Good to go.
All right. Let's get this. Oh, my cat keeps moving my camera or my curtain and causing it to overexpose. Excuse me on that. Let's begin in 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to yet again another fantastic episode of Keeping It Geekly. It's your Cape Crusader Cody. Excuse me, my cat. Let me redo that real quick because my cat's tail definitely hit me in the face. All right. Let's begin in 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to yet again another fantastic episode of Keeping It Geekly. It's your Cape Crusader Cody, and we're hanging out with our new guest, Yitai. We're here to break down the ground and everything in between. Their brand new game, The Time I Have Left, is on wishlist. Currently, you can play that demo on Steam. We have that link dropping in chat and in the description. I had the chance to check out the demo. I loved it. I think this game is great. I'm a big fan of RPGs. I'm a big fan of the time element as well. There's like a 6-hour time element to this game that I thought was really cool. We're going to go ahead and get that gameplay rolling. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today?
Hello. Well, I'm pretty nice. Thank you for having me here today. I've been looking forward to be here and share with you a little bit of what we're cooking with the time I have left. So nice for having me here today.
No, absolutely. And like I said, I had the chance to play this twice. We did a live stream a few weeks ago and just recorded it earlier. And I thought this game was such an interesting concept. We have a time-based RPG, which in itself I think is really cool. Anything with a time limit to it kind of just forces a lot of stress and anxiety. And adding that RPG element, I'm a big grinder in games. So every time I see the near-death experiences popping up, I had to go battle them out and grind up. We were talking backstage, and you mentioned that you've kind of been in the indie game development scene for about 10 years. Where did it all begin for you?
So actually, and this is something that we've been discussing a short while ago. This game has been most of my actual experience working on indie games, because I started about 15 years ago. I wanted to make several projects, and I tried to build teams, and I tried to get together with my friends and get something started. But none of those projects actually managed to launch, to become something. So I went from failed project to failed project for a while, and then I decided to, okay, this is the time. So this is the main project that I've been working on for a lot of my actual game development experience.
So where did the idea for a timed-based RPG come from? You know, out of all the games that you could have dove into, why did this genre speak to you the loudest?
Yeah, so I really like experimental games. I want to see, as a consumer, as a player, I
Mhm.
like to engage with something that it's not always the same stuff, right? I like certain genres. I really love RPGs. I love adventure games, but there's always this little spark, this little thing of different thing that it's what really makes me love a game, even if it's not perfect or anything like that. If there's that element, I really like it. So that's the very first thing that I really wanted to do with our game. I wanted to have something that was familiar in some ways, but had an element of surprise and something that was not the usual. So then that's why we actually started with the time concept, and then became an RPG later down
Oh, that's
in
cool.
development. Yeah, because we are a very small team. We've always been we started this with just two guys, then we grew up the team a little bit, then went back to being two guys, then
Hmm.
we are three guys. um, but yeah, but our goals in the beginning, we wanted to make something that was kind of special in terms of uniqueness, but we were afraid to tackle an RPG because it's a lot of work. It's
Hmm.
people expect very well done systems, and a lot of that puts a lot of pressure on us. So we didn't really want to go there at first, but we wanted to put these little elements, RPG elements, in the game, and people started playing it, and people started saying, "Okay, this is really cool, but we really want a true RPG out of this. We don't really want this like half-baked
Hmm.
RPG stuff." So we then started building more on that, and that's also taking more time and more effort on our part. So
I really loved the exploration aspect of this game too. Now, in combination with the time element, I thought that was such an interesting thing to do, right? Like, there's so much to explore. There's so many rooms. In the beginning chapter, you you get a bracelet that lets you unlock rooms, and there's just a corridor of just rooms to hit on every. And it's like, do I check this to see if there's something good in there or do I not? And I loved how you guys really just hit the key aspects of like the exploration of RPGs while balancing it with that time frame aspect.
thank you. Yeah, it's, as I said, it's something that we really wanted to. We wanted to be meaningful. We wanted the time to be something that was important to the game, not just like a time limit and making you go fast. That was not our goal from the beginning. We really wanted this timer to be something that had weight in the game.
Hmm.
So we thought that it was important that exploration really played around that with the concept of the time limit. Um, so yeah, it was quite difficult to balance it out. Also, as you said, we have this corridor full of doors, and the very first thing that a lot of people try to do is go door by door, trying the bracelet on all the doors, which is something that we really didn't want at first. We really want people to be very mindful of the timer
Hmm.
and use the tools of the game to kind of deduce which door is the good one, instead of trying to try each and every one of them. and that was a challenge.
Isn't it interesting to see what you as the developer intended and then how the average individual plays the game?
Yeah, it's well, games. I think this happens to every game developer out there, even the bigger the biggest ones, right? You start with an idea, you try to make something of it, and once you start playing it, you are the one that has created it, so everything
Mm-hmm.
fits for you. But once just you go out there, you go to events, to and other people try it, you start to see why the places that need more work, or things that are not coming through as you really wanted to. So it's constant iteration. It's looking a lot at other people, and not just changing things for the sake of it. It's just trying to refine what you are aiming for by implementing all this feedback and all this information that we get from people.
So let's talk a little bit about the game itself. So the time I have left, I think the name is like perfect for the game itself, right? It's, time based. So it was like, it's awesome. It was perfect. We have our main protagonist in Colony 7. It's very dark and chaotic almost. All of a sudden, we see these monstrous beings having near-death experience battles. And then the Miasma as well. Can you give us a little bit about what's going on in this story?
Yeah, so I will give a little bit of context, but not too much, because part of the game
Yeah.
is kind of finding all this stuff. But yeah, we know that we are in this gigantic complex, which is called Colony 7, and we are seemingly alone in this place. Our protagonist Aline is seemingly alone in this place, and suddenly she has like a spasm that transports her to a different place, a different world, and from there she starts having these near-death experiences, which is the combat of our game, actually, where these creatures try to attack her, and that starts like a countdown of 6 hours that will eventually end with her death. So that's the concept around the whole game. That
Mm-hmm.
in 6 hours you will be dead, and you have these 6 hours to make something out of it.
That is such an interesting concept, knowing the entire time in the game, no matter what, within that 6 hours, you're going to die. What inspired that within you? Like, what, like, I love that so much, because, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all human. We all have a time frame ourselves, right? It might not be 6 hours, but we all know that at the end of our time, we're going to die. And I think it's cool to put that in video game format.
Yeah, actually, it comes from something that it's a lot less deep in terms of yeah, because I actually it's kind of deep, but it's more personal than really deep,
Mm-hmm.
and this kind of philosophical level that we kind of achieved in the end, and that's because, as I said, I had several projects that didn't go well, and I was starting to feel that I was getting a little bit old to leave the job that I had at the time and dedicate myself to make my dream game and all that. And I'm not that old, but at the time I was feeling like okay, I don't have much time to try and realize this dream of mine since I was a little kid. So starting thinking about that idea, it's what actually brought me to the concept of limited time and what you want to do with the time you have left, and all this story that built around this concept.
Another cool aspect of the time element of this game is the combat system. I felt it relies on you controlling your character and making sure you hit the movements in the right time, which I thought was really cool. And the parry system too. It took me, a little bit. I didn't have quite enough coffee to like get the timing down in the beginning. But eventually, once you get it down, it's like second nature almost. Give us a little bit about this combat system. You know, what went into crafting this?
Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, that I really like games that have an element of a different element, even if they are inside the genre. And with RPGs, we've seen it recently also with some games that have been incorporating more and more active elements into the system. But still, I really like turn-based RPGs, and when you are playing a turn-based game, you still want that degree of strategy and planning ahead and all that. So we really put a lot of thought into how could we make this very tactical, but at the same time more active than your average turn-based game.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we came up with the idea of having something to do in the enemy turn, while keeping the strategy to your turn, and then use the enemy turn for something else. And that's why we incorporated these dodges and parries and all that, which was just as a side note, it was done in 2019, not this year.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed too during the combat system. There's a lot of different choices. It's not just your typical fight and run. You're able to actually move. The enemy can put fusers, if I'm not mistaken, where it's like a trap for you. You have to move, and in that aspect, you're able to move and interact with the environment. I'm always a big fan of interactions with environments. I thought that was a really cool aspect of as well. Was it hard to balance like all of these different things that you can do in the combat system when you were creating and developing it?
Yeah, so it was quite of difficult to get the right mix of everything at first, because at the very beginning you just dodged. I mentioned that we weren't aiming for a full-fledged RPG at the very beginning. So at the very beginning you had like these dodges, and then you could use some skills, but you couldn't move around. These things came organically as we were once we decided that we wanted to make a full-fledged RPG. And then we decided, okay, let's put this movement system that you can move around the arena with different effects. And yeah, at first it was completely unbalanced. It was very difficult to kind of get the right mix. But we went to Gamescom a couple of times. That helped us get how people were feeling about these systems. We also had a public demo in 2022. Right after announcing the game, we put the demo out there, and we get some feedback about how these things were working. And yeah, we have been kind of adding layers on top of that, without trying to not break this balance, which is quite delicate. But it's been less difficult that we thought, in terms of, yeah, because we spent a lot of time on the design phase on prototypes. So once we got that right, making the rest, it's been more friendly for us. It's been quite fun.
So the environment is really in depth. I love how dark and muted the colors are. Adds a really like nice atmosphere of horror to it, especially with the monsters that you fight. I felt like the monsters that you fight in the near death experiences are awesome, gruesome, and grotesque. As this RPG progresses, will we see any special abilities or skills that will be able to be used within combat?
Yeah, so this is something that of course, but I'm gonna mention that it's that skills in the game are unlocked through exploration. So you level up in combat, you level your stats, but your skills you get from exploration. You have to find clues and unlock story fragments to get new skills. And depending on how hidden is the information that you just found, you get more powerful skills than the others. So everyone will have like a basic set of skills just by playing the critical path, just by advancing in the story. But if you explore more and you get lost and you find this little secret that was hidden out there, you will get also better skill, much powerful skills for combat. And we have quite a lot of that. By the end of the demo, the protagonist unlocks like an attack that is much flashier than others, and we have quite a bit of those. So
Oh, that's cool. That gives me a whole nother reason to continue streaming this. So, guys, stay tuned for the live stream so we can make it to the end of the demo. I'm always a big fan of games rewarding the player for exploration. I mean, games always seem to have like little tidbits here and there, lore, what have you. But be able to unlock skills is kind of a new one. And I don't think I really experienced that in a lot of different RPGs.
yeah, that was part of our approach to make this feel more like an adventure game crossed with an RPG, which is we couldn't afford to make a game with a party-based system and all that. So we really wanted to bring this exploration and an adventure aspect to the RPG, and yeah, this we are quite proud about the system that allows you to unlock skills by finding things exploring, because it's kind of like the most unique. We've made a lot of experiments, but I think one of the most unique aspects of the game is the clue system, how you gather these clues that unlock this fragment, and these fragments grant you new skills. And I'm pretty, I think the whole team, a small team but whole, is very, very proud of the unlockable system based around this around exploration.
So what does the collaborative process look like working on a time-based RPG? How does an average workday look like for you guys?
Well, so right now we are kind of split, because we have like a side job that pays the bills, and then we have this project going on. So it's not like we can afford to stay working on it the whole day. But our process normally, it's like I am the one that makes like the first proposal of the first design proposal, because I'm the one that it's more hands into the story aspects as well. So I normally do the very first proposal, and then I discuss it with my partner, which is the main programmer of the game. He's not here today, but he's done almost everything related to coding. It's done by him, so it's a lot of work. And I discuss it with him. I say, okay, how do you see this? Do you think it fits? Do you think it's doable on your end? And then we go back and forth a little bit. We prototype, we check, we test, and then we go a little bit more outside the core of the team. We discuss it with people close to us. We discuss it with friends, and we go expanding until we get exactly what we want. And I do this with the other people working on the game as well. We work with Javier, which is our screenwriter, and I also do the first proposal of what the story is about, what we want to do, and then I discuss it with him. He then points out which things feels work best or work worst, and then we go back and forth. And I try to do this with all the people that contribute to the project. I say my thing. I say what I want to do and how I envision things, kind of, and then they are the ones that make this cool in the end.
I love that. I love that so much. So thank you so much for joining us today. Everyone that is watching, here is a link to the Steam page to wishlist this. Get that wishlist in. That way you can get notified about any updates, and then you get a chance to play the demo for free. So this awesome game that we have playing next to us, you can get a chance to check that out yourself and see what all the hype is about. Now, I know this is your first time on the stream, but I always love ending the show with a little bit of advice and then what you're up to outside of creating. So for anyone out there looking to get into indie game development, what would be your biggest piece of advice to help them?
Okay, so it's kind of complicated. I don't know. I didn't introduce myself telling you that I started as an indie dev, then I built a studio, then I closed a studio, and then I am now an indie dev again. So I think the I would say that it's important not to give up, because things are rough, especially right now in the industry. It's a difficult time, but sometimes we see that there are some indies that do really well, that become really famous, but there's tons and tons of indies that we don't see, that are struggling to just keep the things going, to find a publisher or to find some support, and it's a ton of work for very small teams. So it's something that you have to have in mind, that if you are trying to make a living out of this, it may not go well, but that's not a reason to give up. If you are interested in creating games, I've been failing for a long time, and I'm still here. So that would be my advice. I don't know if it's good or bad, but
hey, failure is some of the best teaching you can get in life, I feel.
yeah,
You fail enough until you get it, and you learn from your failure, and you learn what doesn't work and what does, and you fail enough, it'll get you on the right path. I feel. I've been doing the podcast and think for a hot second, and here I am too. So I think that advice is sound. I think that's awesome, and I think for anyone out there who's been doing what they've been doing for long enough, can realize the truth and honesty within that. So thank you. We have our good friend Tipsy joining us over on Twitch. And Luis saying this looks like an interesting game. Yeah, I had a fantastic blast playing it. I'm gonna be honest. I for RPGs, I am a sucker for grinding. So any near-death experience, I was always trying to grind them out to get the most experience that I possibly could before moving on. I'm excited to dive back into this. So, outside of creating games, what are you up to? What games are you playing? What TV shows are you watching? What books are you reading?
So I don't have much time, ironically, right now, because as I said, I have two full-time jobs going in at the same time. But yeah, I always make time to play some games. I'm right now playing with my wife, which is also very likes a lot of games. And we have been playing Blueprints, which I'm really liking. And also I started East 10 Nordics a couple of weeks ago, I think, just little by little. I'll probably be finished in I don't know how many times, but yeah, I really like to keep playing things, because it's always cool to see how other games and other things. And unfortunately, I don't have much time to watch any shows right now, because I normally jump. It's like right now it's all my free time. It's playing games.
Yeah.
Maybe in a couple of months I will be watching movies nonstop, and in a couple of months I will be watching shows nonstop. So I can just do one thing at a time, but I'll get to it.
That's the sacrifice we got to make, right? You got to work, you do your family thing, and then you got an hour of free time. It's like, what do I do within this hour? Do I do what I need to do? Do I do what I want to do? It can be a hard balance sometimes.
Yeah, totally.
Hey, well, thank you once again for joining us. I had a lot of fun playing this game. You guys can wishlist this today and get that demo downloaded. Check it out. It's free to play, and you can get to playing right away after this interview. With that being said, it is time for us to wrap up. I hope you all have a lovely Friday, but most importantly, guys, keep it geekly.